This here is a Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. This phone was made all the way back in 2020. Do you remember what you were doing in 2020? Yeah, me neither. This phone back in 2020 was made as an affordable flagship, meaning you have flagship grade specs, but the price is much more lower than its actual base counterpart. You have the Snapdragon 865, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and a micro SD slot. You don't have that in the Samsung Galaxy Ultras, even in 2026. And I wish they bring it back because even though you upgrade to the most highest tier, eventually you're gonna run out of space. And what are you gonna do when you run out of space? You kind of have to panic, but not without an SD card. So I wish they bring it back. Then over here, we have your basic cameras, which are pretty good. I don't want to get into the main technical stuff here, but all you have to know is that it shoots great pictures, it shoots great videos, and sometimes I even prefer it over the iPhone 15 Plus that I have here that was made 3 years later and is actually a full-blown flagship. Though this thing doesn't come without compromises. Like the screen. This screen here is 6.5 inches, but it has 120 hertz. This thing isn't as wonderful as the ones seen in flagships, but this is totally tolerable even for me. See, like a Reddit thread, it's just flying by so fast. If I am lagging, that is because the internet sucks. You know how the ISP in the third world countries are. But yes, you can see it just flies. Let's look at a YouTube thread too. There. Oop, if it loads. There we go. Look at that. Look how buttery smooth this is. So Omo, yes, it can do web browsing. It can do Reddit. It can do YouTube. And the pictures are great. What about gaming, Omo? Here it is, playing Gran Turismo 4 at 60 FPS in 1080p. Keep in mind, the PS2 is running at 480p. This one is just doing it at 1080p. This is the power of a flagship CPU. One limitation that I have found out though is that it cannot play Switch games that well, but it's the Nintendo Switch. It's fine. Maybe a little bit more optimization here and there. But overall, it's an enjoyable experience if you play anything from the 6th generation of consoles all the way to the past. This can also run PSP and PS Vita games, and that is basically so much entertainment for me that I'll be satisfied for quite a while. This also means that for actual mobile games that you can install on the Play Store and whatnot, it's just gonna run fine. Now, for all of the other phones, why not a Galaxy S21 FE? Good question. The cameras there are better, the screen is better, but it has the Snapdragon 888. For those who don't know what the Snapdragon 888 and the 8 Gen 1 is, well, let me try and simplify it much more easier. Basically, after the 865, Samsung, instead of TSMC, the one that made all the Snapdragon chips, was making the Snapdragon chips. And with Samsung's reputation of making CPU chips compared to Qualcomm or TSMC is not really good. So the performance of the 888 and the 8 Gen 1 wasn't really good, and people still use the Snapdragon 865. It wasn't up until the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus or the 8 Plus Gen 1, something like that, improved on the CPU enough that you could consider it an upgrade. But TSMC was making all of that. Meaning, if you want a cheap Samsung phone that you can get, instead of getting all of those brand new mid-rangers, just go with the Galaxy S20 FE. Because the whole price that I got this is around $160 US. That is the price of a brand new Galaxy A16 or the A17, whichever is out right now. Even though if it's the A17, it's still not as good. Yes, you don't get software support, but here's the catch. With all of its community support, because the Galaxy S20 FE is beloved by a lot of fanatics, they were able to run One UI 8 on this S20 FE. This thing here is Mint OS, and it's basically just stock One UI minus the bloat. And as you could see, it's running One UI 8 on Android 16. So, support wise, at least on the software side, you're covered. You're good. Whoa, voice crack. This might need a little bit of guidance, but it should be easy. And basically, you have all of the One UI 8 features, like Gemini. You can ask Gemini here. Hello, Gemini.
Hello, I'm here to help. How can I assist you today?
Yep, and that is Gemini on the S20 FE. You also have the picture stuffs, which I will try and find a nice picture to edit. Like this leaf here. This leaf is distracting the whole cobblestone seat or whatever material this is. Go ahead to sketch the image. No, my bad. I don't have a new Samsung phone. I don't use this feature because I don't really see a point for me anyways. Um but yes, you could see that it's working. It's working. Give it a while. Boom. The thing is gone. That there is a One UI 7 or a One UI 8 feature. You can't have that on the stock S20 FE, but with some modifications, you got it. It's there. So basically, you have that and all other One UI 8 features. You know, for the price, you can usually get this for about less than $200 used, because there really isn't any new stock anymore, not unless if you want to find some, but I don't think that's worth it. This here's the 4G variant, but usually you can find the 5G variant, which also has a Snapdragon processor. I think all of the 5G variants have Snapdragon processors. Only the 4G had an Exynos variant and a Snapdragon variant. Make sure you get the Snapdragon variant when you're getting the 4G version. I think it ends in a G. If it ends in an F, don't buy it. Or if it ends in a B or whatever. Just get the one that is labeled SM780G. Yes, yes. This thing just amazes me a lot. This is the cheapest phone that I bought, yet this is the one that I use a lot. I'm just very impressed with all of the things that this phone can give for the price of what, less than a Samsung Galaxy A17 5G, and it gives like a more premium feel and a more premium experience with games that don't lag as much. Actually, I was trying to justify myself on buying a Galaxy S23 Ultra. You know, the fact that it has a larger screen, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, it has a high resolution 120 hertz screen, has 200 megapixel zoom, well, 120, no, 200 megapixel camera sensor that can zoom to like 100x. And even then, with all of that bells and whistles, I don't really have a clear justification to buy the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Like, the screen is smaller, yes, but it is usable. The cameras are not as good as the S23 Ultra, but it's good. There's no headphone jack, but the S23 Ultra doesn't have a headphone jack either. You know, at least this one has upgradable storage, and the S23 Ultra doesn't. So, like, why would I buy an S23 Ultra if this can do almost everything that can do? So, this phone has surpassed all my expectations, and this thing is my daily driver despite all of the phones that I've owned and all of the phones that I will own in the future. This thing will probably be my daily driver. And honestly, would I recommend it to other people? Yes. I would 100% recommend it to other people. For those who want a phone to just get started with, but don't want that stereotypical Samsung experience, like the ones the Apple fanboys keep on saying, like, oh, it's gonna be laggy, it's gonna be doo doo. Um, Not with a flagship, a used flagship even. Also, thank you guys for staying here up until the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Though, if you guys have anything that you want me to take a look at, like it can be anything, an iPhone, an Android, a Mac, a ThinkPad, any laptop, I might take a look at those and do a video of those. And hey, maybe I can like make that as my best thing that I have on my tech arsenal. Yes. Um but anyways, I really appreciate you guys for sticking around the whole video. And for those who haven't, please hit that like button, subscribe. And this is Omoimei signing out, and I wish all of you a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Bye bye.